Hello again, it's Dr. SAP here, ready to guide you through one of the most critical steps in the purchase-to-pay process, supplier invoice processing. At the heart of this step lies a fundamental best practice in procurement and financial workflows, three-way matching. But what exactly is three-way matching, and why is it so important? Three-way matching ensures that three key documents, the purchase order, the goods receipt, and the supplier invoice, are cross-verified to confirm their accuracy and alignment. This process acts as a safeguard, ensuring that the purchase order matches the supplier's invoice in terms of quantity, price, and terms. The goods receipt confirms that the materials or services invoiced were actually delivered as per the purchase order. The supplier invoice aligns with the other two documents, ensuring that we only pay for what was ordered and received. By following this practice, we can prevent overpayments, identify discrepancies, and maintain robust internal controls. It's a vital step for both operational efficiency and financial accuracy. In this session, we'll walk through the supplier invoice creation process in SAP, demonstrating how the system automatically facilitates three-way matching. SAP helps us identify mismatches, if any, and ensures that our data aligns perfectly before we post the invoice. Let's begin by navigating to the Create Supplier Invoice application. From there, we'll enter the invoice details, link it to the purchase order, and review the goods receipt to complete this essential verification process. By the end of this, you'll see how SAP streamlines three-way matching, making it an integral part of your materials and financial management workflow.
Back on the main screen, we're returning to the purchase-to-pay processing overview. Since we have already created the purchase order and completed the goods receipt, our next step is to create the supplier invoice to document the invoice we received from the vendor. This time, let's select Create Supplier Invoice to move forward. In this step, we've received a supplier invoice for €3,300. This amount corresponds to two items, raw material 001 and raw material 002. The total value reflects the sum of the item prices plus applicable taxes. Our task is to ensure that all the details on the invoice, such as quantities, prices, and taxes, match the information in the purchase order PO. Once we've linked the PO and entered the key data, the system will calculate the balance. A balance of 0 confirms that everything aligns perfectly and that the invoice is ready to be posted. Let's move to the General Information section and begin by filling in the required fields. A transaction. We start by selecting the document type. Since this is a supplier invoice, we choose Invoice to notify the system that we're recording a billing transaction. A company code. Next, we enter the company code. In this case, it's 1010. This links the invoice to the correct legal entity within our organization. A gross invoice amount. Now we enter the full amount of the invoice, €3,300. This represents the total, including taxes and charges. By inputting this amount now, we set the baseline for comparing it to the purchase order details. The system will calculate the balance as we progress. If everything matches, the balance will update to 0, confirming that the invoice matches the PO. Invoice date. Here, we input the date indicated on the supplier's invoice. This helps align our records with the vendors and ensures we're adhering to the correct payment terms. A posting date. This is the date when the invoice is officially recorded in SAP. It defines the accounting period for this transaction and impacts financial reporting. A reference. We use this field to enter the supplier's invoice number for easy identification and to avoid duplicate postings. Invoicing party. Finally, we confirm the invoicing party by selecting the correct supplier. This ensures that the transaction is tied to the correct business partner in the system. Now that the general information is complete, let's link the purchase order in the Purchasing Document References tab. We'll click the search icon to open the Select Purchasing Document window and search for the PO by entering Vendor 001 as the supplier and Purchasing Group 001 as a filter. After clicking Go, we select the correct PO and click OK to load it into the invoice. Invoice Items section. Linked items now appear in the Invoice Items section. We can see the descriptions for raw material 001 and raw material 002, along with their quantities and amounts. Everything matches the supplier's invoice, which means we're aligned and can proceed. Notice that the balance field now shows 0. This indicates that the total invoice amount matches the purchase order, confirming that all the details are correct and the invoice is balanced. Reviewing the remaining tabs. GL Account Items tab. If there were any special account allocations, we'd review them here. Since this invoice doesn't require additional allocations, we move to the next tab. A Tax tab. This tab shows the system's tax calculations. Here we confirm that the tax rate of 10% is applied correctly and that the calculated amounts match the expected values. A Payment tab. We confirm the payment terms and the supplier's bank details here. These details come directly from the supplier's master data. In this case, the payment term is immediate, with no deductions. Unplanned Delivery Costs tab. If there were any additional delivery fees or unexpected charges, we'd enter them here. Since there are none, we leave this blank. Notes tab. You can use this tab to add any relevant comments, like early payment discount applied, or partial delivery included, for reference. Attachments tab. Finally, we upload any supporting documents, like a scanned copy of the invoice or a shipping confirmation, to keep everything organized. Final validation and posting. Once all the fields have been reviewed, we return to the General Information tab to ensure the gross invoice amount is correct. If the balance is 0, it confirms that the invoice aligns with the PO and can be posted. Before posting, we click Check to validate the entries. This step ensures that all mandatory fields are filled and that there are no inconsistencies or missing data. If we need more time or additional approvals, we can click Park to save the draft and return later. If everything is correct, we click Post to finalize the invoice. Confirmation message. Once posted, the system will display a confirmation pop-up with the document number. This indicates that the invoice has been successfully recorded in SAP. The invoice creation was successful, and the system has generated the invoice number. While we have the option to access the document directly using the displayed hyperlink, we'll return to the main screen to demonstrate how the Supplier Invoices List application helps locate documents easily, especially if the invoice number is unavailable. Now that we're back on the main screen, let's access the Supplier Invoices List application. This application provides an overview of all invoices recorded in the system, offering detailed search and filter options. It simplifies the monitoring and control of pending and processed invoices. Upon opening the Supplier Invoices List application, we can see the most recent invoices displayed. The list includes key information such as the invoice number, supplier, invoice date, reference, and approval status. We'll use the Invoicing Party field to filter invoices related to the supplier vendor 001, allowing us to quickly find the document we've just created. The system updates the list to show only the invoices that match the filter. Here, we've identified the document by its number and can view its key details. The posted status indicates that the invoice has already been registered in the system and is ready for financial accounting. Here, we have the complete details of the invoice. Let's quickly review the main tabs to ensure all entered data is correct. In the General Information tab, we can see the primary details of the invoice, including the document number, gross amount, issue and posting dates, and the related supplier. In the Purchase Document Reference tab, we confirm that the invoice is linked to the correct purchase order. We can see the 2 items that are part of the invoice, along with their respective amounts and quantities. If necessary, the document can be reversed by selecting the Reverse option at the top right of the screen. Before wrapping up, we can access the Journal Entries section to review the accounting entries automatically generated by the invoice. Now, let's walk through the Display Process Flow Accounts Payable screen and connect all the steps we've covered so far. We began with a purchase order for the supplier, followed by a goods receipt to confirm that the items were delivered as expected. After that, we posted the supplier invoice, linking it directly to the purchase order. Now, we're here to see how all these steps come together. This screen provides a visual overview, like a process map showing how each step flows from the initial purchase order to the final payment. Purchasing. This is where it all started. The purchase order was created with 2 items, approved and unblocked, ready for the next phases. Receiving. The goods receipt was recorded, confirming that the items listed in the purchase order were delivered in the correct quantities. Invoicing. Here, the invoice has been posted and marked. This step automatically generated a journal entry in the financial accounting system. This is a key moment. It officially records the expense in the company's ledgers, ensuring everything is accounted for. What happens next? After the journal entry is created, we reach the clearing phase. This is the final stage, where the payment to the supplier is processed. Once the balance is settled, the system updates the status to cleared, indicating that the transaction is fully completed. This sequence is known as the procure-to-pay (P2P) process. This process flow ensures transparency and traceability, giving us a clear understanding of how all parts are connected. With this overview, you're not just seeing steps, you're seeing how they work together to keep the process efficient and compliant.
Finally, we've reached the main screen once more, bringing our journey in the purchase-to-pay process to a satisfying close. It's Dr. SAP here, ready to guide you through a complete summary of what we've achieved. Let's look back and connect the dots to ensure a clear understanding of each step in our workflow. We started by creating the purchase order, which serves as the foundation of this entire process. This document detailed the items, quantities, and terms agreed upon with our supplier. Once it was ready, we displayed and reviewed it, making sure everything was accurate and in place. From there, we passed it along to the purchasing team, who handled any necessary adjustments to set us up perfectly for the next steps. Then, we moved into the goods receipt phase. This is where the ordered items were received and confirmed. We recorded each item, updating our inventory to reflect the actual stock on hand. This step is essential because it creates a direct link between our physical goods and the system, ensuring inventory accuracy. Afterwards, we entered the invoice processing phase. Here, we reviewed the supplier's invoice against the purchase order and goods receipt. With SAP, we input each detail of the invoice, ensuring it aligned precisely with the previous documents. A highlight here was the system's ability to simulate the invoice, allowing us to verify all amounts and confirm that everything balanced before finalizing. This simulation step acts as a final layer of security, adding confidence that our data is correct. And now, as we arrive at the main screen, we're looking at the bigger picture. Each stage we navigated has given us a robust understanding of SAP's purchase-to-pay cycle, providing a seamless process from order creation to invoice posting. This process ensures accuracy, transparency, and efficiency throughout, reflecting SAP's commitment to smooth, error-free operations. So, congratulations on making it through the logistics side of purchase-to-pay. I hope this comprehensive journey has left you feeling confident in your SAP skills and ready for more. Until next time, keep mastering SAP.